Awesome. Well, I'm joined today by Diane R. Garrett, President and CEO of Hycroft Mining, to discuss today's news. Diane, how are you today?
I'm excellent today. Thank you, Romeo. How are you?
I'm good. This is exciting news, so I'm eager to get right into the protein here. Going straight to business, what does $60 million in financing mean for Hycroft at this point in the company's evolution?
It's an exciting day for us at Hycroft. First and foremost, this financing represents a strong vote of confidence in what we've achieved to date at Hycroft, particularly with the recent discovery of the two high-grade silver systems. We're also very thrilled to have one of the most successful investors in the precious metals space, Eric Sprott, significantly increasing his position from approximately 21% to well over 30% as a result of this private placement. His conviction and bullishness in silver, and also his belief in Hycroft, is a premier way to gain exposure to this bull market that we're seeing. And it's just been remarkably validating for us to have his commitment and support. And beyond all of that show of support, the capital also helps us to accelerate the work that we're doing at Hycroft. That's our development efforts on the milling operation, finalizing those technical studies, advancing and continuing to grow these high-grade silver systems and moving the company forward, in a more expeditious manner. So all of that is what is so pivotal about this financing at this particular time.
That's great. I do want to talk about Eric because obviously Eric Sprott's legendary in precious metals investing, and he's in for the lion's share of this private placement while bringing in Tribeca Investment Partners. So curious your perspective. What is having these kind of industry heavy hitters, the veterans backing Hycroft? What does it signal about prospects to investors?
Yeah, well, I mean, Eric's increased investment is a tremendous endorsement, not just, I think, in hope for our management team, but also for the asset. I mean, it's not just the silver market, but Hycroft being a very unique opportunity within this market. As you know, he is extremely bullish on silver, and he's predicting extremely high silver prices for some time now, and it looks like it's coming to fruition with the breakout over 40. It's worth noting also that Eric was a very significant shareholder of our prior company, Remarco Minerals, where we successfully uncovered a high-grade system, and that transformed the company's trajectory, and we really appreciate his support in that. And that helped take our valuation with that company from about $100 million to well over $1 billion before we were acquired. So Eric knows our team. He understands our approach. He clearly sees the potential at Hycroft. So his support with Tribeca coming in as a new investor just really underscores, I think, the strength of our asset, the experience and confidence in the team that's advancing it. And we're just really grateful for their belief in what we're building here at Hycroft.
Awesome. Yeah, I do want to zoom out and talk about the macro for a second. How you mentioned, and I see silver's reached 15-year highs, been designated as critical mineral by the U.S. government. It's kind of a perfect storm. But how does this, macro environment position Hycroft differently than, let's say, even a year ago?
It's an exponential change in people's mentality towards the commodity markets, and certainly looking at where you're going to go to invest in quality silver assets. I mean, the U.S. and Nevada is a tier 1 jurisdiction. You've got Core Mining and you've got Hycroft. I mean, if you really want to invest in a lot of silver, you really have to go to Mexico or Bolivia or Brazil. And so we have we're among the world's largest gold and silver deposits. I mean, we will have on a revenue basis close to 50-50 of each metal. So we've seen the significant signs in the industry as silver broke over 40 last Friday and is maintaining above that today. This is an indication we're entering into a very, very strong bull market, and their expert predictions are that silver is going to run to 50, possibly even $100, and that's not going to be out of reach. This is also due to recent silver demand in ETFs. We've seen lots of sizable orders being placed through ETFs, even some blockchain companies and cryptos that are buying physical silver in addition to gold. And now that the government has recognized the critical nature of this commodity, it really elevates it from, silver just being a precious metals commodity but to being a strategic resource. It's vital to the nation. And when it's designated as a critical mineral, it's because the projected demand and the available supply are predicted to be out of sync. So in other words, it appears that with the demand forecasted, the supply that we have today is not going to be sufficient to meet that demand. So that recognition by the government about being a critical mineral is huge.
Sure. And I know what it's meant for other critical minerals, but I'll ask you to look into a crystal ball here for a second. Do you think U.S. government might provide funding for U.S.-based silver companies' deposits?
Well, it's hard to say, but I think it's not out of the realm of possibility because they've been offering support for lithium and for a number of other commodities. Excuse me. And so there's no reason why they wouldn't be looking at silver too, particularly now that it's on the critical minerals list.
Yeah.
And, we hope we'll get their attention as well.
There you go. And do you have any contacts in government yourself in Washington?
Great question. Actually, I do. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is my cousin. So I do have a contact in Washington.
Glad I asked. That's a solid question for you then. Perfect.
Great question. I bet you were surprised at that answer. You weren't expecting that.
No, that's a little higher than I would have guessed. So there you go. I want to talk about the silver systems, because I know you discovered those two new high grade systems and mentioned some of the best holes ever drilled in the mine's 40-year history. I know I've talked about it with you and Alex before. But what are you seeing in the ground that has you so excited? If you can summarize it for investors.
For us, what's so exciting is these bonanza grade veins over very significant widths. And how well defined these veins are. We know from the geology that both brimstone and vortex are open in all directions and in depth. So we see from the geology, we're very confident in the ability to significantly grow both of those systems. Through our analysis of the 2024 drilling, all of our field work, our mapping and everything else, we see that we believe that the high grade is not just isolated to the brimstone vortex areas. We see other indicators now that we understand what is controlling the high grade mineralization. We see other areas that are very high priority targets to the east of brimstone, which is the Wild Rose system. We also have drilled some very high grade, much further west underneath Camel, and we think that Vortex and Camel will also connect in addition to Brimstone and Vortex. So, Hycroft truly does remain an untold story, and we're just happy to have the financial support necessary to do our work to realize this amazing value for our shareholders.
Awesome. And talk about financial support. So with this new capital, what are the immediate priorities for advancing the Hycroft mine? And where are you in the transition from that oxide heap leaching to milling operations?
Oh, great question. So we'll be able to accelerate some of the work that we're currently doing. I know everybody's been waiting for our technical report to come out with the economics. It is the culmination of about 2 years of a lot of detailed work. And it does take every bit of that time to do it, to get it right. And this is customary in the industry for sure. So we'll be able to get that out to the market. We are planning to do that by year end. That's all in our deck, our PowerPoint on the website. We'll also be able to put more resources into the high grade systems and studying those, looking at those, and also potential extensions of those systems. We have 2 rigs turning right now. We may be able to expand that with this financing support. And on the leach to the milling, because of the higher commodity price environments, we have been doing an analysis on the leachable material that is still at Hycroft. We've always known there's been about 3 years of material, but there's a lot more material that has become economic in these higher price commodity environments. There have been some unrecovered ounces on a prior leach pad, and we have leachable material in Bay and Camel and a couple of other areas in Brimstone in the open pit before it ceased mining. So we're really excited about doing the analysis on that, and that would allow us to generate some nice cash flow, be able to start that up as we transition into the milling operation. And the money also will allow us to take a good, strong look at a potential startup mine on the high grade. the two silver systems. We've got lots of opportunity at Hycroft, and this just allows us to deploy a lot of resources into studying those things and reaching a decision in a quicker time frame, and take advantage of this bull market in silver.
Of course. No, strike while it's hot. Makes sense. And I know people always love to hear about exploration upside, so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Land package, it's over 64,000 acres, less than 10% explored. What could that untapped 90% have, and how is that factoring into that long-term proposition for Hycroft investors?
Well, we like to say at Hycroft that we have a target-rich environment. I mean, there's no shortage of opportunity given the size and scale of our land package. And now that we are uncovering something with these high-grade systems that nobody ever thought was possible at Hycroft, we did. It's why we came in here, but others never really thought that prize would be, would exist. And if it did, it may take decades to even find it. So we were very fortunate in that regard. If you look on our corporate PowerPoint on our website, there are a lot of targets that are outside the main resource area. So those are our prospective targets that we have identified based on how we understand the project now, how we understand the geology and all the structures that control mineralization. And we think they have a very good opportunity to develop into ore bodies on their own. And we hope to get to those in the not too distant future to drill them as well. But for right now, our priority is advancing the main resource that we have that is permitted, and expanding out the high grade systems.
Awesome. Now, I do want to talk about silver supply for a second, because as the price goes up, people are talking about it this week. So I do want to get your take on it. With concerns about that supply meeting industrial demand, particularly in green energy, high-tech applications, et cetera, how well positioned is Hycroft to capitalize on that potential supply shortage during this bull run?
Well, being among the world's largest gold and silver resources, and a tier 1 jurisdiction, and a site that's well advanced as far as developers, we have significant infrastructure on site. Again, the permits, as I mentioned, we're well positioned to deliver into this bull market. So, in addition to just delivering commodities, metals into the world's supply, we also have Tesla's Gigafactory down the road from us, just south of us in the state of Nevada. So, there's been some conversation about, sort of controlling the whole pipeline
Sure.
for end users of silver, and we think that is not an unrealistic thing that we'll be seeing in the near term and in the future. But also, we have a tremendous amount of sulfur at Hycroft, and so we would be a significant supplier of sulfuric acid. So we also feed into the lithium space, which they require sulfuric acid to produce lithium. So given this bull market for silver and the increasing demand, we certainly check the box on green energy, metals from solar panels, gigafactories, but also for the lithium industry with sulfuric acid. So we think that we have a little bit of something for everyone, if you will.
Awesome. There you go. And looking ahead, rest of this year and into 2026, what can shareholders expect in terms of upcoming news, milestones, catalysts that can move the stock even higher, though? I believe it's at a 52-week high today, so congratulations.
It is. It's very exciting. Yes, thank you for that. Lots of news flow for the balance of this year and into 2026. So it's going to be a very exciting next 12 months and beyond for us. You'll see continuous drill results on the high-grade systems. We have also we'll be updating our resources, and then we'll have the technical report out with economics to demonstrate the value of this asset. And then we'll also be looking at the starter mine for the high-grade underground, in addition to an analysis of the heap leach startup opportunity. So just a lot of news flow coming out this year. And with any luck at all, hopefully a new discovery.
There you go. Well, stay tuned, watch the space. But Diane, I'm eager to throw it to you just for any final words you wrap up today.
Well, I'd just like to give a shout out to all of our shareholders who have supported us. We've been through some fairly volatile markets over the last year and a half and maybe more, and a lot of ups and downs and roller coaster rides. But we want to thank all of the shareholders who participated in our last financing, as well as those that just came in and welcoming Tribeca to the registry. And absolutely want to give a special shout out to all of our apes. Here we are. Let's go to the moon. You've been loyal to us with Diamond Hands during all of this time, and we really do appreciate it. It appears we're breaking out of that volatility and entering into very strong bullish markets. And, we predict that to be around for some time to come. At least that's what people smarter than me are predicting. Anyway, so to our wonderful apes, I love you all. You make me laugh. Keep it up. Let's keep those memes going. You're so smart and clever, and appreciate your Diamond Hands.
Awesome. Well, Diane, thank you so much, and congratulations on today's news.
Thank you so much, Romeo. Great to be with you again.